When you think of a luxury getaway to a place like Mallorca, what comes to mind? For decades, it was all about excess, right? More of everything. But something's shifting. Today, a quieter, more thoughtful kind of indulgence is taking hold.
And this quote it nails it. A quieter language. It's not about sacrificing anything. It's about precision, about connection. Luxury isn't just about what you get anymore. It's about how you belong to a place. So you have to ask, what does that actually look like on the ground?
Well, this whole movement is starting to get a name, low-impact indulgence. And I know, it sounds kind of like a contradiction, doesn't it? But it's this really fascinating attempt to blend top-tier premium hospitality with a genuine, deep-seated sense of responsibility.
And let's be super clear here. We are not just talking about those little signs that ask you to reuse your towels. No way. This goes so much deeper. We're talking about architecture that actually honors local history, food that comes from local farmers, and day-to-day operations that actively protect the island's resources. It's luxury with a conscience, baked right into the foundation of the business.
And this isn't some pie-in-the-sky theory. It is happening right now all across the island. You've got places like Montenegro that are slashing their fuel use with solar. The Four Seasons is using actual AI to fight food waste. And get this, Cap Rocat took an old military fortress and turned it into an absolutely stunning hotel, preserving all that history. Then there's Racho Retreat, which is practically growing the guest experience right out of its own gardens. It's incredible.
So you can see these core ideas taking shape, right? It's about being smart with water and energy, serving food that tells a local story, and creating spaces that feel like they actually belong there. And, this is key, it's about inviting you, the guest, into that story. It sounds like a perfect vision, but there's always a but, isn't there? It's not quite that simple.
Because underneath this beautiful ideal, there's a massive tension. We can't forget that Mallorca is still a tourism giant. It's one of the busiest destinations in all of Europe, and that reality creates an enormous amount of pressure.
This chart kind of lays out the problem pretty starkly. When you have that many people flooding in, especially during the summer, the island's resources, its water, its power grid, its waste systems, they all get pushed to the absolute limit. And that brings us to the fundamental conflict here. Can you really be sustainable when your business model is built on mass tourism?
And this is where it gets really interesting. The conflict between the promise and the reality. The marketing brochures talk about being eco-friendly, but the operational reality is that the energy grid is groaning under the strain. They'll claim to source locally, but the island's supply chains are super complex. It's one thing to have a towel reuse program. It is another thing entirely to fund the deep, expensive, ongoing investment that real sustainability actually requires.
Which, of course, leads to the question that I know you're thinking. Is this all just clever marketing? Is it greenwashing, designed to make us all feel a little bit better about our vacation without any real change behind the scenes?
While the hurdles are definitely real, doing this stuff properly costs a lot of money, constantly. A new hotel manager could come in, look at the books, and decide to scrap the whole thing to boost short-term profits. You even hear these stories about hotels that claim to support local farms, but the farmers say they've never even gotten a phone call. The truth is, the whole mass tourism model is often pulling in the exact opposite direction. So with all these challenges, how does real change actually happen? How do you move from a nice idea on a website to a practice that actually lasts? Turns out, the answer comes in two parts. Yeah, there's no single magic bullet here. Real change is being driven by this powerful combination of two forces. You have top-down government rules forcing a new minimum standard, and you have bottom-up commitment from pioneering hotels that are aiming way, way higher. Let's start with that top-down approach.
The Balearic government did not wait around. They passed a really powerful law that basically makes sustainability an obligation, not an option. Now, every single hotel has to have a certified plan to reduce waste and reuse resources. Those little single-use plastic shampoo bottles, they're out. Water-saving devices in every bathroom, they're in. And the big one, they are forcing hotels to phase out their old, dirty fossil fuel boilers.
And this isn't some vague goal for the distant future. That date you see, May 1st, 2026, that is the hard deadline for hotels to replace those boilers. This regulation is creating a brand new baseline for everyone. But as we said, that's only half the story. While the law is raising the floor, forcing everyone to step up, the true leaders are raising the ceiling. They're the ones showing us what's really possible.
So, what does that ceiling actually look like? Well, it's not just one thing. It's a commitment to getting the toughest certifications out there. It's embedding this thinking into every single department.
It means building real partnerships with local producers, not just talking about it. And it means making sustainability a core part of the guest experience and the business model itself.
For a perfect real-world example, look at Hotel Esport. This place became the very first hotel in all of Spain to get that super prestigious GSTC certification. And trust me, that is not an easy check-the-box award. It's a grueling audit of everything you do, and it proves a deep, long-term commitment.
And this quote just gets right to the heart of it. For these pioneers, the ones really getting it right, sustainability isn't a campaign or a feature. It is the business model. It's how they operate, how they govern, and how they plan for the future.
Ultimately, when you step back, what all this points to is a major strategic shift for the whole island. The future isn't about just packing more people in. It's about attracting travelers who want to stay longer, connect more deeply, and leave a positive impact. It's a move from sheer quantity to real quality. And that leaves us with one final thought. A question for all of us, really. Whenever we travel, we're always sustaining something. Either a model that just takes from a place or one that helps preserve it. The choice is increasingly ours to make. So, what do you want your stay to sustain?